Have you ever felt that you are juggling everything in your business? I know I have, and I know so many of us have as entrepreneurs. Our guest today, Renee, has over 20 years experience. Guys, she started this in 1996. I was 3, okay? So she's been delegating. And if delegation is something you are passionate about, curious about, maybe thought, really just need help, this episode, it's for you. Renee, welcome to the Client Code Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here.
I am so excited. Like, you don't know how much I've been waiting for this because my delegation game is not great at all. So I'm so glad we have an expert like yourself here to help us all out with it. But before we dive into all the great things of delegation, I go in and I ask everybody the same question. So, Renee, what is your unique client code?
So, my unique client code, that can almost be a tongue twister, is to actually take a personal interest in the hopes and dreams of our clients. And when we take an actual interest in their hopes and dreams, it gives us a firmer foundation to build upon. So that as we're walking in lockstep with them on this journey, we know the things that are important to them. We know the things that get them up in the morning. We know the things that make them tick. We also know the things that kind of can be roadblocks for them. And so we do what we can to make sure that that is not their story for that day.
I love this because when you anchor into someone's why, their mission becomes your mission. So, of course, you're going to win. Renee, for somebody listening to us who is thinking, okay, I need to delegate, how do I start? What is the first thing that they should do?
So one of the first things that they should do is take an assessment of where they're spending their time. When they get a better understanding of how they're spending their time, from the time they wake up in the morning to the time they go to sleep at night, what's happening in between? It's from that list or that assessment that you can determine whether or not your time was best spent doing those things that you were doing. And if those things that you were doing were not adding dollars to your bottom line, that's a real good indicator that that should not be on your list. And that's one of the first things that can be delegated.
Now, okay, I made the list. I've checked it twice. I found out these things need to go. What if I think like, oh, but no one can really do stuff as great as I can? I know myself. I have to train someone. They're never going to do it as well as me. Like, how do we get through that?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've discovered is there are many reasons why people choose not to delegate or refuse to delegate or can't delegate. And what we discovered is that a lot of it is rooted in fear. They fear losing control. They may be perfectionists. They may have trust issues. But trust me when I tell you that all of these things that get revealed as a part of this process didn't just start yesterday. And they are deeper than what's appearing right now on the surface. And so once you get an understanding of where the actual fear is coming from, like what happened way back in the day or whatever it is that caused you to have this lack of trust, this feeling like you have to be in control, this thing that you can't let people into your personal space. Deal with that, heal from that. And once you allow yourself to do that, it will become easier for you to allow someone else in to your space to care for you. Because actually, when you delegate, it's a form of self-care that you deserve. And so that it's a whole process though. It's often doesn't come naturally for lots of people. And so, but we are used to it. We've been doing this a long time. And so we understand trust doesn't come overnight. It's something that has to be earned. And so when you delegate something small, something insignificant or minor that won't really rock the boat too much if something happens, the more your assistant consistently provides you support that is accurate, thorough, responsive, whatever it is, and they do that over and over again repeatedly, they are building trust with you and starting to earn your trust. And the more trust is earned, the more you're willing to delegate some of the more important things that really could move the needle and help you along this journey that you are on.
Starting small and building trust. It's like a relationship. I mean, we're not going to
Absolutely.
go and marry the guy the first day. No, no one's doing that.
Right, exactly. And it is a relationship. And it's because we understand the gravity of this relationship. We are very patient and understanding and kind of meet you where you are to help you along the way.
Okay, so now let's say we've got some good steps here. First one is, just to recap, you got to write down everything that like is taking up your day. Second, we've got to work on our mindset. That fear that's holding us back from asking for help, we do not need to be doing it all. We can ask for help, removing that fear. Now we've said we're willing, we're going to start trusting someone. What would you say is the most important task kind of entrepreneurs should be delegating, but they don't?
I think it actually depends on your business and your industry and what you're trying to achieve. So if you have set goals and you see that along the way there are these milestones that you've set for yourself, and for some reason you're not hitting the milestones, then it could be something along that path where you need to start delegating first. But it depends on you and what your goal is and what you're trying to accomplish. What is most important to you and how can we help you reach that goal? So that's the assessment that needs to be done. That's kind of a strategy conversation that needs to be had kind of in the beginning, as we were talking about. And then once you figure that out, then you can say, okay, well, this doesn't go with that. So since this doesn't go with that, you do that.
Exactly. Like, I don't
Does
feel
that
like
make
doing
sense?
this, so please take over. There's something that is commonly coming up with, I know you work with various industries, but like, let's say a service-based business or even an online business, is there something coming up that's common that people constantly outsource?
So some of the things that are our most commonly requested responsibilities is email management, calendar management, getting them on the calendars of other busy people instead of them having to go back and forth with 20,000 emails trying to find a time that works for two busy people. That's not the best use of their time. If you think about your time as a business owner and say you are a $300 an hour value to the company, should your $300 for this hour be spent trying to coordinate a meeting? I think
No.
not.
Not today, Satan.
No,
I do
not
not think
today.
so.
And so when you think of it in those terms of dollars and cents, what is your most valuable thing that you could be doing to add value to the bottom line of your company? And those other things that are still important, but not worth $300 an hour can be delegated to somebody else. So the most commonly requested tasks, again, are those two: email management, calendar management, social media. Every business needs a social media presence. And whether it is a podcast or on all the social platforms, whatever it is for that increased visibility to get out there, get seen, get known, that is super important. So that gets requested a lot. All those things that the executive assistant in the office does, the calendar management, the travel arrangements, the expense reports, keeping track of all the receipts, all of those things are important to keep track of and time consuming in some cases, depending on how much you travel. And so they're very necessary to get done, but you don't have to be the one to do it. Payroll, that's another thing. If you don't have an interest in doing these things, but these things are all very necessary things, you are doing yourself a disservice by not inviting someone else into your space to take care of those things, because that person actually enjoys doing those things and they're really good at it and they're probably really fast at it. So those things that you dread, they wake up for.
And you know what? As you said that, like 5 different things popped in my head that I was like, oh, I hate doing that. I have to do it, but I hate doing that. I think everybody can relate with things like that.
Absolutely.
Now, I think the next little hurdle or objection that will come up for most people is like, well, now I have to spend time training this person, or I have to teach them a whole bunch of stuff. What is the best way if they're not using your service, which I highly suggest you guys go and use her service because Renee is the goat on this, like highly, highly recommend. So if you're not using Renee and you're thinking of hiring, what should they look for when, one, what should they look for when they're hiring someone to fulfill a certain role? And two, on the back end on that, how do we teach these people?
Great questions. I love that because I think this is one of the most critical questions to get right. One of the things, so when we are hiring for our team members, it's super important to me that the person that joins our team shares our values. They must be in alignment with how we operate, how we treat our clients, how we treat one another. All of those things are super important because, yes, there are skills required and we do skills assessments. That's important, but not nearly as important as the culture that gets created because you're now a part of this team. So when a business owner is looking for someone to join their team, they want to make sure that they're in alignment with their values and what they believe and how they operate. And if it's a good work ethic is most important, then ask the questions along those lines, like what time do you get in the morning, and what do you do with the time that you don't have things assigned, and how do you, just different questions like that to see what their mindset is, because mindset is something you can't really change. So if they're, oh, I shouldn't say you can't change it. It takes some time, but you're a business owner.
We don't have time to change your mindset. We need you ready. We need you to come prepared. I don't have time to teach. That's the truth.
Exactly. And they may not be the best fit for you, but they may be an amazing fit for somebody else. Don't waste your time trying to get somebody to be somebody they're not. Allow them that time and space to go and do their thing where they're welcomed and where they fit. So don't just hire a warm body to fill a space. Hire the right body.
So we're hiring more for skill rather than personality, more like, can they do this task correctly?
No, you're hiring for value, the values that they have. Because skills, anybody can develop some skills. Things can be taught. People can be trained on different things to learn different things. Who they are at their core is what matters most, to make sure that that's a fit. So you hire for values fit.
Values, shared values. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And then once you get them, one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make is just saying, okay, I brought you on, here's some things, go do it. Not realizing that, okay, this person, number one, might be new to your industry, might be new to your business, might be new to your way of doing things. And they're not mind readers. They didn't wake up born with these things that you need. But once you explain what needs to happen, why it needs to happen this way, how it fits into the bigger picture, and give them a thorough understanding of why they're doing what they're doing, they catch on quicker. It's easier for them to navigate the situations that may come up that impact how they're operating. So when you take that initial investment of time on the front end, any assistant worth their salt won't make you repeat yourself. And you can get further down the road quicker because you've taken this initial investment of time in the beginning so that they can hit the ground running, doing the things that they know that they need to do without making assumptions. And then being open to questions and receiving questions and not being aggravated or irritated by your assistant asking questions, because your assistant needs to know and understand so they can better assist you and be a better support person for you.
No, that makes total sense. None of us were born knowing how to drive. I get so irritated when people are like, why are you asking me questions? Well, did you wake up out of the womb and you were driving? I think not. All of us took the test. We learned the papers. Then we got in the vehicle and then we did the things. It's the same thing as hiring a team member. And just on a very quick note there, for those of you who are like, well, I don't have time to teach. One thing that I do in my team is whenever we come up with a new process, I just shoot a little loom or something and I just record myself doing it. And then I can pass that video on. It may not be the most perfect thing, but like my team member can see it and be like, okay, that's how Carol likes doing things. So don't put that barrier on yourself. I don't have time to sit here and write a whole document. It takes you 2 minutes to record your screen and show someone what it is you're doing or how you want it done.
That's right. And if you don't have time to train on the front end, how much time is it going to take you to correct something because you didn't take the time on the front end? So
mic drop right here, guys. That is actually so good because we can't get that back. Once a mistake is made, are we going to like waste time trying to fix it? Wild. Okay. Renee, honestly, I have goosebumps. I just love talking to you. Like, I wish you didn't have to go because I know, girl, you have to go. But I wish you didn't have to go because my mind is willing and able. It's got all the questions for you. But
Oh,
before you go and be the boss lady that I know you are, I ask everybody on my podcast this question. It's kind of like my life mantra, if you will. The mantra goes something like this: what you don't change, you choose. So, Renee, I'm asking you, what are you choosing today?
today, I am choosing to be great. At the end of my shows, I say, you were made for something great, so go and be awesome. That's what I'm choosing to do today.
Oh gosh, I want to be great. Yes, let's all be great. Let's go be great. I love it. I love it. Well, Renee, thank you so much for being on the Client Code podcast. It has been such a treat. Tell the people where they can go work with you because I want them to run, not walk, guys. This lady is busy and she wants to make sure that you are also busy in your business doing the best. So please go talk to Renee. Where can the people find you?
Yes, please go to our website. We're at executivehelpnow.org. We're also on all the social platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Executive Help Now, to find out more information about what's going on in our business and with our clients and different things like that. Feel free to reach out. There's a contact page on our website. If people have a need for administrative support or social media management, or if they want their own podcast and don't want to do all the work themselves, we have a podcast production company as well. So I'm happy to talk to anyone about their needs and how we can best support them, lighten their load, get their message out, all of the things. And if someone is asking, how do I know if I'm ready or what can a VA do for me? All they have to do is send me a message in that contact list and I will send them a little brochure so that they can do that assessment and answer that question for themselves. It's very thought provoking.
I love it. And I know, Renee, one last little thing is I know you have for people in the US, they can text you something and then they can also slide into your DMs. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so if they text the letters VANOW to 1-866-943-3591, they'll also get those same freebies about how do I know if I'm ready and what can a virtual assistant do for you.
I love it. Okay. Well, guys, that was another episode of the Client Code podcast. My name is Carol Kabale. And as always, it's been a pleasure to be with you. Bye.